Just checking the audio balance. You are real. You're a real boy.
Dope. Yay!
Oh, also, hang on.
Suck nuts, Pinocchio. I'm the only real boy in town. Come over there and cut your strings.
Where's my thing? Okay.
Not the Disney one. He's okay.
Yeah, he's
I'm
solid.
talking about the original one.
OG,
Jerk.
OG Pinocchio. The little shit.
The OG Piccolocchio.
Piccolocchio. Nickelochio. Nickeloca Piccolodian. Wait, why is that a different size?
Piccolocchio.
The hell?
It's like the 4Kids dub. But
Oh.
There's more slime.
Now with 100% more slime.
That should be what every Nickelodeon cartoon said back in the day, and now including more slime. 100% more slime.
That was basically what they sold their fucking network on. Oh, that's what's going on. Damn.
And occasionally, something hidden temple. I forget what that. Legends of the Hidden Temple. Was that it?
That sounds
Legends
right.
of the
Yeah.
Lost Temple.
Something of the Lost Temple. Yeah.
Go into
Yeah,
the
with the
green
kid- with the
room
kids
and
had the,
find
like-
sandwiches of adventure.
Yeah, the kid had like a helmet on his head, and everyone has to scream instructions. That's the show, right?
Yeah, that one. The only part of that I always remembered very well was getting into the one room and finding the easiest 3 pieces of a monkey statue puzzle ever, because they're not hidden. They're just
idea what
out.
made
You
Disc-
just put the butt part down, and then the part that has the hands, and then the head, and you're like, that's a monkey.
Yep. Whole
That's
ass monkey.
just a monkey, Clyde.
Tell me I'm wrong. You can't, because I'm right.
Come on, judges. Friggin' cowards.
Oh man, I just realized I didn't make that. Today I had the good idea of like starting to gussy up the stream a little bit, and I realized, so I was like, oh, I'll make little windows for us to be in, but I didn't
Nice.
label them, so there's just 2 pictures of robots, just nondescript, hanging out on screen. Let's fix that.
Well, you know, for anybody paying real close... Now, again, iceberg content. That'll give them something to mull over.
Yeah,
They'll have
the
to
deep
determine
lore.
which one is you, because you're in all the fucking pictures. Then they'll have to go back through the old Games with Chums archive and figure out which one looks pretty close to me. Because it's been like 3 years, so there's
really
been a
has.
little difference.
Somewhere I lost my digital copy of your robot reference drawing, so I've been playing telephone with it ever since.
That works. That pans. That scans out.
Hang on. Get the fucking...
Gotta zhuzh it up. Gotta make 100% sure
Oh yeah.
that everybody realize we're not just gonna flat color that thing.
Hell
No. We're gonna add some
Dude.
sparkle, some shine. If I don't see bulb filament inside those neon incandescent lasers, then I don't even know what we're doing here. Yeah, go back to get the big red splotch. I think
That's
big
my
red
favorite,
splotch
yeah.
to it.
Do you like that heinous red that somehow made it into the... Well, I didn't finish it. I was like, okay, well, I know the robot, but it's like I don't know that you have a canon background, so I was like, I'll just do a throne in here. And then I was like, this is a pointless endeavor without asking a bunch of questions about a throne that is as of now hypothetical. So I just stopped drawing the chair.
Yeah, a big assumed that is, boy, that's a lot of pretend budget that I wish I had to just pretend I owned a throne.
I mean, we're in the world of make believe. What do you want me to just draw your character just sitting in like a steel folding chair?
You and I both know I only reside in the bucking bronco. The office chair basically made out of like muffin tins and string. It's not really a chair. It's pretending very well. I think this chair has more imagination than both of us put together.
It's a devotion to the craft, you know. When they say they don't make chairs like they used to anymore, that's what we're talking about, you know. You get chairs who are just, you know, they get picked out because they have the right look or the right size or the right style. Where are the chairs that are just in it for the love of the sport, you know?
Unfortunately, they get passed over for the ones that can do that special trick with their finger, and the producer really picks them often.
Yeah, it is nice to have that lumbar support. There's no denying it.
It's a crooked system.
It is. It's scummy.
It's weird that chairs need a casting couch. It's a little,
it's
it's a little meta.
I'd like to say hat on a hat, but that almost doesn't do it justice. It's like so much more complicated than that.
A beard on a beard on a crab.
Beard on a 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 crab, crab, crab.
Beard.
Beard. Beard on a crab.
Canasta solo from the crab.
Canasta solo from the crowd. Which one of you lovely ladies brought your canasta?
What?
People just going absolutely
wild.
insane. What a concert.
And the crowd goes home. They've already been there, Jerry. It's an E concert.
Nowhere to go and no way to get there.
I like that in concept, but at the same time, it's like we should really go out and do something. E concert? Yeah, let's put on our pajamas and go watch TV.
It's the best of both worlds, Ben.
Absolutely. Well, because then you don't have to. You have halfway through it. You don't have to carry your date's shoes.
That's true. Wait a minute.
It's not like there's not like a slush puddle outside that one of you face plants into a steel grate.
Oh yeah. Into a steel. What was that? What was the last part of the steel grate?
You sound like you've never been to a concert.
Something about a steel grate. Yeah, I feel like I've been to a. Yeah, maybe you're right. You're right.
I thought I went to a concert, but they sound really different.
Sounds really different than what I remember. Yeah.
I like how I joined in and immediately just hijacked whatever you were working on, and for some reason you feel obligated to doodle the channel name and logo like all over this thing in the lower corner that like one or two people might look at.
You know what? It's called consistency. I drew a super nice thing for me. I could at least make a minimum effort over here.
Oh, how funny would that be if you just put like a Wile E. Coyote sign up?
It's like a shitty children's drawing.
Like the MS Paint perfectly perpendicular square with like a shitty pencil doodle like post coming through it, and then Arial font name.
It actually would be easier to like writing it by hand. Doing text in an art program is a huge pain in the CPU. It's actually easier to just crappily draw it. Or yeah.
Beep. I forgot we're all robots. Beep boop.
Beep.
Right in my CPU.
Yeah, see, it was appropriate and on theme. That's how it happened.
My remote processing unit. It's in a completely different case.
Get it by Wi-Fi. Oops. That's me. That's you. There we go. Yeah, see, we got a name in there. It's still not. Oh no, I can fix this. Oh, what we do? We keep.
Just draw a penis right across the face.
Directly across the face. That'll. Sex sells. You want to really rattle some cages? That's how you do it.
Well, if that's true, where's all my money?
If only sex bought, that'd be way easier.
Sex sells, and I'm in debt.
Sex is very involved in the economy. I'm just realizing.
Sex has gone up 3 points since the Dow Jones shifted.
Sell.
Sex market.
Sex market.
Sex.
Jim Cramer with like Pornhub on in the background, just slamming buttons. Get out of there!
Look, the different counties for sex are going wild. Bam, 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 bam. Because he always has a soundboard.
I know.
I don't know why.
He's the original human shitpost. He's kind of amazing.
Do you remember the last week tonight bit where they just replaced all of his buttons with different fart noises?
I do not. That's good though.
And when it goes up, it's gonna be plummeting soon. It's so good. Oh, I love the budget that show has and where they choose to put it. What a hero.
What a legend. What a lad.
All Alright, so I'm gonna be stuck at the same quandary I've been at for like a week now.
What's up?
And I know what the next episode of the thing is gonna be. I just don't know what to make for a thumbnail.
I mean, just hog wild. Like, what's holding you back? What are you afraid of?
Well, because on the last one I showed you, it had like pretty good what's the word? Like composition was kind of there. It had good spacing.
No, actually, yeah, it looked really good.
The next one is the fucking whale. Like, so do I keep that on the background layer? Do I hand draw the thing? If I hand draw it, what do I make the background layer?
That is a good question.
It's normally not something I ever have to worry about.
Yeah, the whale does make a I don't know. Yeah.
So I have like a stellar image that I can just use to keep it in the background. It's actually perfect. But then I also run into the problem where I always want to incorporate both of us in it.
Oh, I mean, that part's easy. Just one of us has to be carrying the other.
That is perfect.
Or you could have that in the background and have your character like straining under the weight, and it's like just my ass like slightly on screen, just like a really fat version of me. Or you just use Rudo, of course, and just stick my face on it. Also good. Rudo.
Yeah, because I had an idea for it, but I realized it works way more perfectly when we go back and do the water temple. Because it was going to be a fishing hook joke, because that's where you get the long shot.
Makes sense. Never made that connection before.
There you go.
There you go. Long shot. Use it underwater.
No, it's actually really funny. There was one thing I did want to do, and it was because I remember we talked about this last time.
Metal Gear Solid, right? Or Metal Gear 3?
We're still going to do that. We're still going to do that.
Okay.
But I also wanted to just sit down and just crack open a can of talking about Banjo and Kazooie, because it's just been...
That's not a bad... honestly, that would be a lot of fun. I would like to go and revisit Banjo and Kazooie before I did like a real sit down on it, because honestly, I have not played it since I was a teenager, like the original two. I played them probably when I was like 15, I think.
I am playing them right now.
Yeah, so see, I'm just gonna be like out of touch, out of time, out of my head, something around Hall & Oates. Anyway, I'm gonna be just like I don't want to like speak misinformed about something that I actually am very passionate about. Because of course, if we're gonna talk about Banjo and Kazooie, I'm gonna I'm stepping up to the plate for nuts and bolts. But I don't want to like base an argument on like a misremembering, because like the core of my feeling is that it really was not that long after I played the original that I played Nuts and Bolts, because I played them very late. Because we were poor. But so like I didn't play it till so it was only like maybe like a year or two after I had played the originals that I played Nuts and Bolts, and I was like, great, tastes like home. I love this. This is the game I like. Like I never thought a thing about it. I was not really plugged in. I was in a home with no internet. I was not plugged into what people were saying. So I just loved it on the face. I thought the humor, like all of it just rang true for me. And obviously it didn't for everybody else, but I'd be curious. I wouldn't want to go and stand on that and like in full force without like just double checking to make sure I'm not giving myself the old Mandela.
Well, it's funny because one of the things I've seen was somebody, their point was like, it's a good game.
It is.
It's just a bad Banjo and Kazooie game. And I thought about that. I've been thinking about that all day because I'm playing it and I'm trying to figure out what aspect they are missing. Like, they're like, the collectathon's not really there. Like, what are you talking about? The collectathon's in there. You collect shit all the time.
In a really amazing way, too. In a way less frustrating, like... It demands more creativity and less random guessing. Like I think a lot of the collecting stuff in it is really well implemented.
Well, because like you still get jiggies, which is still a weird word to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I know they're jigsaw pieces, but it just makes me think of like Will Smith getting jiggy with it. Which I don't know how nobody's done a Banjo and Kazooie of that, or if they have, I'm not aware of it. I'm trying to think of like what else you get.
So
The little like music notes. If you don't have to collect them, I'd prefer not to. They're really irritating in the original games.
yeah, I
Because
don't
you like,
think.
as you leave like a map, and then all your progress on them just gets wiped, and you have to go back and start over every time you go back, which is not great for the game where you're forced to go back and retread old ground,
Like a lot, yeah.
like in every fucking level.
Um, Something I feel very strongly about, like the way the game is designed. I think to me it is a perfect progression of the collectathon format. Like, okay, what's like when you're doing a collectathon style game, there's kind of two things you're doing. You're unlocking new areas and you're unlocking new abilities. That's the I hate this term, but the core gameplay loop. Every time I hear somebody say that, it makes me want to punch him in the face. But that's the heart of that game. That's the meat and potatoes of it. You're looking forward to getting new powers so you can get all the stuff in stages, and getting the stuff in stages unlocks new stages. When you have the power to add more to that, like how do we do that formula but bigger and crazier? Well, you make more of the shit you collect actually affect your character. Collecting stuff is really fun when it gives you, little power-ups and stuff, even if they're really minor, but it's extra fun when it gives you like a new option, like a new way to play or a new way to like engage with the game. So these are like your cool, like in Mega Man, you have like your Robot Master gives you a cool power, but like the really cool shit is the side stuff that gives you like a jetpack or like lets you punch through walls, and like the silly stuff that lets you play the game different are the real prize pigs. So Banjo and Kazooie Nuts and Bolts expands upon that by literally just doing that. Like 90% of the stuff you collect are new parts that you can use. So like the format is car instead of bear, but the concept like is 100% like a perfect extension of that formula to me.
Well, because yeah, what you do is you do a challenge, and you have like little crap buggy du jour. Like I have 4 wheels and a bucket. That's what I have.
Yeah.
You do a thing, and it goes, okay, great. Now you can build like the body how you want. You're like, oh, that's really awesome. And you go back and you do like new things, and every time you do a specific challenge, it grants you another part. Sometimes you already had them. A lot of times you don't, and it's like, okay, cool. Here's the breakaway part, so you can do this thing. That's and I'm like, that's fundamentally exactly the same as when you go into like level 1 and you don't have to work really hard, you just have to find bottles, and he's like, oh, here's how you do the bird walk thing. You go, all right, well, that is helpful, I'll grant that. And now you can do it. And great. I didn't have to do anything to get this.
Didn't really earn it, but
I didn't have to like do a mission or anything. Like in the first level, he just gives you 3 things.
Oh, wow.
He just does. Now, you can't do them until you go talk to him. So I'm like, well, I would have rather just learned how to do them. Like,
yeah.
The buttons weren't disabled. They just didn't do a thing. Like, the game didn't add a C button to my controller. I could have done this the whole time.
I see what you mean.
DK64 did that, and right out of the gate. You could throw grenades. You could pull your gun out. No, I don't think he had a gun yet. But yeah, you can pick up grenades. You can just like throw them. You're like, oh, neat.
Yeah, no tutorial necessary. Yeah.
I didn't have to go find like an alligator that goes, hi, Donkey Kong, you can press this button and this button to throw a grenade. No, I just learned it on my own.
Yep.
And then like they were like, yeah, but like this dialogue really shits on collectathon games. I'm like, Banjo and Kazooie shits on everything. Every character in that game is a smug dick.
Yeah, they are not nice folks.
Like, Kazooie is such a bitch every 5 minutes. Like, whatever, I'm not knocking the character, it's funny, but at the same time, if you're gonna say that that's not true to Banjo and Kazooie, that's a weird argument when every time you interact with the mole, her basic gist is, go fuck yourself, mole.
Yeah.
Like, in a really deep cut kind of way, like, it's like, if you say that again, I'll cut your glasses. It's like, fucking hell.
Yeah. For me, like, the final nail in the coffin is that the game that people wanted actually came out, and it was called Yooka-Laylee, and the internet universally agreed that it sucks.
Well, the game that people wanted, as far as I know, it came out and it was called Grunty's Revenge on, like, I was either on the GBA or the DS.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
There are 5 Banjo and Kazooie games.
Oh, damn. Didn't know.
There's Banjo-Kazooie, there's Banjo-Tooie, there's Banjo and Kazooie Grunty's Revenge, there's Banjo-Kazooie Pilot, which is an entire game where you're flying a plane. So it's like the precursor to Nuts and Bolts. So I
Interesting.
also kind of don't get where like the rug got pulled out from anybody's feet.
Yeah, so Rare was already thinking about it. That's interesting.
But then it's just the other thing that just irked me was I don't know. I just felt like you and me really like that game, so I don't know how to come at this from an area where I don't like it, because I like that game a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of like I
See,
I'm trying to think of a game that like format changed really hard, and then I got this weird entitlement to it of like, how dare you do this to my game? It's like that's their game; they can do whatever they want.
I see what you mean, though. I know there must be a good example, though, of like one that made like that hard. What is one?
I want to say it would be like, I want to say like it would be something like Sonic Unleashed, but I was kind of not really that into mainline Sonic at that point.
Yeah.
I played Adventure 2, and I was sitting there going like, this is fine for some. No, I played Heroes, and I'm like, this is fine for some. I'm not in love with this.
Fine for some, but not for I. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I guess that is a big change. But I would honestly, I would submit. Okay, keep your holster down. All right, keep that thing buckled while I say this. I would submit that Sonic going from 2D to 3D actually did of all the games that made that transition, did the best job of understanding what made Sonic fun. They just forgot to do a good job with a lot of it. But like the concept work. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like the concept like translates well into 3D of like the spectacles of movement and these big elaborate beautiful backgrounds and like just like music that jives with the speed you're going at. Like all of those elements are present. A lot of the 3D Sonic games do have them. They just don't implement them well. Like they are shitty in exactly the same ways that the original ones could have been shitty if somebody just didn't work hard enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to like 3D Mario, which is like a completely different animal.
I don't know if I just have like Stockholm syndrome with it, but the first Sonic Adventure, I don't ever feel that sloppiness in it.
This is an age-old disagreement I don't think we'll ever come around on, but it's a fair point. It might just be I played it like later in my life when I wasn't as familiar with the system, and that sort of colored my opinion of it, but I don't know.
Maybe.
Very
because
possible.
they didn't have that rail grinding crap in it yet. That's
true.
That is one of the biggest fumbles in Sonic, is just that mechanic, because in the game it came out in, they're like, you can jump onto other rails, and I'm like, I can also like thread a needle by throwing it. That doesn't mean it's gonna work out well.
I will. Let me posit to you. If what we're talking about is that Sonic Adventure 1 is way better than Sonic Adventure 2, I think I'm on board with you there. I think I will brook no argument.
I've got like I got a deck of reasons why I think the first game is better than the second game.
Oh, hit me with it. Let's go.
Well, for starters, the second game is objectively smaller. It has less levels in it. It just does. It's got fewer stages.
Mm-hmm.
The plot on the face of it doesn't make sense.
Like even on like the level of like video game Sonic the Hedgehog logic.
Well, in the first game, the plot is like Eggman finds Chaos and wants to power him up to be giant kaiju monster that he controls to.
Yeah, you're right. No, that scans.
Square.
Yeah. You got actually that totally scans. You're right. No, I redact my sass.
Okay.
Like the game's cheesy, but that plot does make sense.
So in the second game, the plot is he's going to go find another super weapon, and he finds Shadow, and then people somehow get him mistaken for Sonic in a case of like blatant hedgehog racism.
I know.
They don't even slightly look at similar, even in like an unlit alleyway in a bad part of town.
Also, it's like he's Sonic.
Different.
He's Sonic the Hedgehog too. That's like if you saw like he's famous. It's like if you saw like a random black guy and we're like, is that James Earl Jones? What? What are you talking about? He's so distinctive. Why would you think that'd be him?
That's not even slightly close. What's wrong with you?
Not even in the ballpark.
Eyes and mind.
What's wrong with your eyes and mind?
Old man from a different time.
Exactly.
So okay.
Position myself away from you.
So from there, The plot then goes into this convoluted like level of triple agents and backstabbing, and I'm in this for my own means, and then the Knuckles subplot of the Emerald breaking doesn't even fucking factor into the main plot like it does in Sonic Adventure 1. Rouge just breaks it, and he's like, "Oh, that bitch," and then he goes collect it, and then he stumbles on the plot, and they're like, "Oh, Knuckles!" And he's like, "Oh boy, I'm glad I got out of that." And they're like, "Oh, I guess you're with us now, huh?" And he shrugs. He's like, "I got nothing better to do."
Fucking dude, why is Knuckles such a fucking sob? Like he's like, "Oh, what's up? I'm Knuckles. I'm the fucking guy that can break bricks." Shut up, Knuckles. All right, fine, whatever. I guess we're friends now.
All right, sorry to intrude on your party. You guys order 3 medium pizzas. Fuck off, Knuckles. All right, no tip necessary.
Just hang out, I guess. You guys want to share that pizza?
So he joins in, and then like Eggman goes, "Moon!" and he blows the moon up because now he's a terrorist.
Sure.
Which I guess wouldn't you relocate your plan after you he like successfully destroyed Station Square in the first game. He just did.
Yeah, he did the hell out of it.
Rebuilt. And then he's like, "I'm gonna blow it up again," and nobody's got a contingency at this point.
Does he have like a specific beef with Station Square, or?
So Sonic
was that like where he
Adventure is
landed
like
when he first immigrated, and it was really hard? It was like he had like a Five Goes West story, and he was still bitter about it. Like, what happened? Why are you like
Sonic
this,
Adventure
Eggman?
is actually like a soft reboot
because it takes place in like the real world, right?
Sort of, yeah. But like the way they pitched it was, it's always been like this. I'm like, no, it hasn't.
Clearly has not.
But that's why like that's sort of pseudo why like modern Sonic and classic Sonic are distinct identities.
Yeah.
Because they're just like entirely different canons. They don't really mesh.
Yeah, they don't click. Yeah. That makes sense.
So anyway, yada yada, the entire fucking whatever about Shadow being the ultimate super weapon,
sure.
Like just little hedgehog super Jesus. You get to the end of the game and they just go, "But Sonic, no, he isn't." And he's just like, the last boss is the Bio Lizard, which is the actual like ultimate life form. It's
Wait,
whomst?
Who's the?
Exactly.
Everyone's favorite Sonic character, the Bio Lizard.
Yeah, the slightly robotic salamander.
Sure.
Who you stumble upon after like. Do you remember in Mega Man X5 where the space colony is gonna like headbutt the Earth and you have to stop it?
Surprisingly, yes.
Out of nowhere, that becomes the like team up motivation.
Oh my
where
goodness.
Everybody's like, okay, so like the ghost of what is it? Robotnik's grandfather is now gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna destroy the planet my own way." And Robotnik's like, "You son of a bitch! That should have been my idea." And so you like,
I should have done that louder.
So like nobody dies and they save the world and you get all the way to the end. Yeah, it's like this big giant salamander thing with an energy reactor on its back, and he's the last boss. He's had no build up whatsoever. It's not like Perfect Chaos where you've been with him the whole time. It's just, look, it's your favorite salamander.
That's pretty lame.
It
bums me out. I'm not happy to hear that. That sucks. I do not I have played that game beginning to end. I don't remember a fucking thing that happened in it. It was too long ago.
It's because the plot plays over itself 3 times, but they don't at any point like utilize the perspective change that well. Like in like Sonic Adventure, you take it from every different character standpoint. You take it from 2 teams' standpoint, so you just
that's right. It was just good guy team and bad guy team.
The plot at you, and like some of the dialogue is different.
Okay. Can I ask you an entirely different question? 100% separate from this, has nothing to do with Sonic Adventure, and anyone who gets them mixed up, I'm sure will get roasted. Okay.
You can, but I also very clearly need to point out a giant plot hole.
Hang on.
In that. All right.
Okay. This will be quick. I promise. I won't lose you. Okay. Right. So. Does which game has a better Chow Garden?
I don't care.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That's shit. That's like asking me like which of these two hamburgers has the least offensive piece of shit in it.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't like the Chow. I don't like the Chow Garden. I don't really get the appeal. I wasn't raised on Tamagotchis.
Alrighty.
I find them. I personally just find them to be a little irritating. You show up and they make these like whiny noises, like a cat that hasn't been fed yet.
Mm-hmm.
You walk over and you hand them a coconut and they nom it, and you have to give them a very regimented amount of animals to get certain stats so that you can make him look like Sonic, and then he can't run anyway when you have to race them like. Or I don't get it. They did not click with me. So that's I think why people like Sonic Adventure 2 so much is because it's Chow Garden 2.
Yeah.
And there's this like supplementary Sonic game stapled onto it.
Absolutely. That is generally the way I hear people describe it. Yeah. Is yeah, Chow Garden 2.
And so, also that so I have to bring this up.
Talk to me.
In that game, this is also like the current canon. This is the timeline we're still going with.
I'm listening.
So Shadow can do Chaos Control with a Chaos Emerald where he teleports.
Sure.
And at some point, Sonic's holding a fake emerald, and he just goes, well, if he could do it, why not me? And he does it with a fake emerald, and he teleports, and he never does it again. Ever.
Interesting.
That's a thing he can just do, because he believed in himself. Like that Earthworm Jim joke, where we clapped our hands and we believed really hard that Sonic can get out of the exploding space coffin.
That's
and then he
so
did.
strange.
And he did it with like a knockoff House of Glass looking emerald that has no fucking powers.
Fuck. Man.
Do you kind of get why I do. This game?
What a strange element. You could come up with anything to get him, any Deus Ex you want. It's Sonic the Hedgehog. It doesn't matter. Whoever left earlier shows up and is like, don't think we'd leave you behind, Sonic. Pick a character. Doesn't matter which. You're out of that situation. Why?
Well, they still do that.
So why write yourself into a corner as a bonus? Yeah, like,
they still do that. Knuckles is just like fucking po-dunking it around on like a space station. He's just like, boop-a-doop, I have all the emerald pieces. And then Sonic just like thuds onto the floor like an isekai character who just came back to life. And he's like, the fuck? And Sonic's like, somehow I did it. And then he just wanders off.
Well, looks like that problem solved itself. Anyway, chili dogs or something. Peace out, Knuckles.
Boss fight, he can still do the ability, and then he just doesn't ever do it again. Shadow can still do it. When Shadow does it in later games, it does different stuff.
Huh.
It stops being like a teleport thing. In Sonic Heroes, he just like does it as like set dressing. I don't even know what it does.
Just to like bop around for funsies.
Well, because he has to do something in the team attack.
I guess
so he
you're
does
right.
Chaos Control, and then the robot
could-
shoots lasers out of his hands, and Rouge flies. And
Fuck it. If he wants to contribute to a team attack, he can shoot them with his gun. You know,
yeah, because he does that later too.
fucking handgun. Bop somebody. Come on. Contribute something, Shadow. You suck. Dude, it's so
The
weird.
other
Like,
weird thing I never got about Shadow is they constantly say that he's like the Dark Sonic, and he clearly is not that fast. He's
absolutely not. No, he floats most of the time.
He
And he's
has
not even go that quick.
He's got like little jet skates. He is not running.
Yeah. And he
kind
he doesn't even do things with any great like hate. Like, you know, Sonic can run fast, but he's just kind of like a quick, you know, let's do this, let's jump around. Like Shadow will like dash straight forward fast, but then he'll like go, he'll climb a ladder, you know? Like he just doesn't, he's not dynamic in the way that Sonic is. So like it is weird to make that comparison of him because it's just so objectively not true. Like he's so clearly just a different guy doing his own thing. It's almost like mean to constantly like compare him to Sonic because like they don't even have the same power set.
Well, because like Sonic is fast because that's just a thing he's like born to do.
Exactly.
So he's been like that his whole life. He's
Yeah.
an impulsive little shit, and like it's part of his personality and his character. Shadow just got made, and then somebody gave him some Nikes that like do swishy squooshes, and he's just kind of like, oh well, I guess everything sucks now.
I
And
guess
he's
in
just
that way
sitting,
he is the Dark Sonic. He is the
and he's
dark
like,
reflection of what Sonic has become.
he's by the grace
Everything.
of God, he's what Sonic could have been.
Here's your
He was
branding.
just a
Everything
little,
sucks now.
he was just a little angstier in the '90s.
I don't know if you saw this. I don't know. I think it's. I don't know why I keep talking to you about this because I really don't think you give a shit. But it's fun. It's fun for me. In Mortal Kombat announced Terra or Farah as one of the assists. You remember Farah Tor?
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, how fucking cool is that? I love that she actually I didn't it was the game that I did not play that much of, but I thought that character was really cool in Mortal Kombat's proud fucking tradition of having one really cool demon in every game.
Oh yeah, MK Master Blaster.
Hell yeah. But I love that that's also like that character's mechanics is being Master Blaster.
I actually saw the most recent update thing, and I was really excited for a lot of it. But my only problem is I'm again not jazzed about MK1.
Yeah.
There's just a lot about it that bums me the fuck out. It's I don't know how else to put it. It's like if I woke up on Christmas and then I came down and like I saved a box till the end, and then they're like, my parents are hitting like, well, we know you wanted a puppy. I'm like, that's not moving a lot for that box. That's MK1.
And then
It's
and then
the
bam,
puppy
you
that-
get Mortal Kombat Double Dash.
It's fuck it, I'd play it.
That's what I mean. That's pretty much what it is.
No, I mean like a kart racer.
Oh.
Just like a strip, like the MK kart racer that was on what was it, Armageddon? That, but like that's the primary game. That's not like an afterthought. I play the fuck out of that. I don't know. There's something. MK1 keeps having all of the like it has all the planets aligning for me for that to be my favorite game, and then it seems like at every point there's just this weird stumble right into like a fucking parking ball or
What is
into
it
the
you don't?
teeth.
What's the frustration? There's a lot of metaphor. I'm hearing a lot of hat. Where's the cowboy?
All right, the cowboy is that game didn't need to be like current gen only. That could have been a last gen. That could have also been on like PS4.
Okay,
I'm looking
fair
at
enough.
it.
Valid criticism.
So my initial thing was I was peeved that it was gate kept because I don't have a PS5.
Uh-huh.
I am rubbing nickels together like a chronic gambler in a casino trying to make their chips multiply. I don't have one. I mean, I have a Switch now, but Jesus, have you seen that game on Switch?
Yes.
That could have been on the 64.
What a legend. It's almost a meme. I can't believe they did it.
But by that same token, it makes you... Because I've seen people that argue like, well, you know, they had a creative vision for the game, so they didn't want to dumb it down for PS4. They just wanted it on PS5. And I'm like, but Switch!
Yeah, explain yourself.
Explain their vision when I'm looking
Your Honor,
at a
I'd like to
Johnny
enter
Cage
this
with
into
no
the record.
eyelids.
It's a nightmare, yeah. Very strange.
So all the hat is like, it has Nitara.
Uh-huh.
She was like my favorite character in like the 3D eras. Like one of. It
Yeah.
has Havoc. Are you fucking kidding me?
He's
I finally
awesome
get
in it,
Havoc
too.
again.
He's
And
so
he's, yeah,
cool.
he's great. And then it's got it's got my favorite. I hate that I'm just saying this because it sounds like it's just because it's the newest one. That is my favorite Johnny Cage. He is fucking perfect in that game.
They did
That
a
is
very
the-
good job.
He's so good in it. Fuck. What else? Like ketchup and mustard are back. Like
Yeah,
in the new
fucking,
patch.
How about fucking the Terminator that you don't like? It's still cool that he's in the game.
T1000. I don't dislike the T1000.
Oh, okay.
I actually really like him. I think he's kind of goofy and part of him doesn't make some sense.
But he's
It's
cool
great.
though. Cool
Yeah,
to
he's
see him in the
awesome.
game.
But okay, now like the fumbles start to come in when
All right.
I hate shit talking voice actors because I'm not a voice actor, so where the fuck do I get off?
Uh-huh.
But again, you gave me Nitara, and then it's Megan Fox,
Yeah, that was
who's kind of phoning it in.
she
I
did a rough
think.
job. That's the weird
Sure,
thing.
she could do a great job. I don't really know if the direction wasn't there. I
Yeah,
don't-
The more I think about it, when I hear her voice, it is clearly like bad. I'm not even sure if I'm mad at her because it definitely sounds like a director should have stopped this, or it's like
piped up or something. Yeah.
yeah, or did they just literally use the worst take of like, she's not that bad of it? Look, she's not Laurence Olivier, but she is not an incompetent actor. She's not like a good character actor. Like, she doesn't, in my experience, she can't play a super wide variety of roles, but she's capable of emoting. She can communicate what her character is feeling. Like, within her lane, she is a perfectly capable fucking actor. Why does it sound so bad?
Right. I think because I've had friends that do animations and they've hired voice actors, and sometimes you're a little intimidated to ask for another take. I don't know if that was the case.
You think so? You think they were being like a little too gracious?
Maybe, but at the
Maybe.
same time, I don't know. Maybe J.K. Simmons never needs another take. He's really good as Omni-Man.
I think that's just factual. I think J.K. Simmons actually does just never need another take. Yeah,
Probably.
I believe that to be a fact.
Unless
Jesus
he just
Christ,
wants to
he's
make
so
a
good.
goof out of it, that's fine too. But what was one of the other? Oh, what are the other wins? They gave me Human Reptile again, finally.
Oh, he's awesome too.
Yeah, he's dope as shit. I love him. But all right, like if I have to circle back to some of the other stuff, I'm not jazzed
All right,
about.
sandwich it. Let's go. Show me what you got.
You like you. Not only did you soft reboot the story again,
Yeah.
you kind of didn't go anywhere with it.
Yeah.
It's kind of still like, look, when I heard they were gonna soft reboot, I thought it was gonna be like Special Forces Kano, like trying to hunt down mercenary Sonya, like weird wacky takes
That
on
would have been
stuff.
so much more fun.
Right? Exactly. Like who else?
Fuck,
Like,
see, you're like talking me out of it. I'm backsliding. That would have been what a cool game.
that one thing. I mean, god damn, that's a loud. One sec, I'll be right back.
No problem. Sorry, Ben's got to go beat his cat wife.
Okay. Fuck.
This is serious business. I hate when they fight like this. I just want these kids to make it. I just hope they're doing all right. You know, you hear it through the wall and over the airwaves, and I'm not hearing both sides of this. That's what I think. She's a good cat. They're good for each other.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
So one of the other things that kind of bummed me out was just that when you break the story down again and you're like, all right, well, who's going to be the big bad in it? It's just Shang fucking Tsung again.
It's always Shang Tsung.
It is, but the
Goddamn
entire
Andros.
point was that the entire point is Liu Kang got to mold the entire event of history. And he still let that slip through. I know there's a reason in story, but you could have made him the hero.
Yeah.
Imagine if Shang Tsung was the chosen one. He was the Liu Kang of this timeline.
Oh, that would have been awesome. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Okay.
fucking oops.
Nope, you burned it down on me. I actually didn't really know the plot of this game, but that one is better. That's actually just doing a legit cool alternate where we reset and put the characters in different places. That would have been 1,000% cooler.
Yeah, different takes. Meanwhile, that entire thing I just pitched you with Kano and Sonya, they're assist trophies. They're not even really in the game.
Yeah, they are. It's like your assist is 50% of your character. It's I think it's still legit.
I don't know. The cameos just kind of, I don't know. They just strike me as kind of whatever.
I like them, honestly. The mechanic has really grown on me. I'm a big fan of team fighters, and this is an interesting way for Mortal Kombat to kind of try to do something like that. I think
What if they were just also playable though? What if there was a cameo version of each person?
If they just also made well, for sure. I'd love to have just way more characters.
Mataro's in it. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's super cool too.
Kind of can't play as him though.
Yeah, but you could play. He can bring like his mechanic to something. I don't know. I think it's cool. I like the way they work. I like that you can like take a character you like and then fine tune them with another character you like and get like a really unique play style out of it. It reminds me like it's like a real Kirby 64 thing. You're just like combining powers and seeing what you get out of it. So mechanically, I think it's really interesting, but I don't fucking play it, so I'm not gonna defend like the minute by minute. It might be absolute ass in reality, but I like.
Oh, here's another story plot that I was really looking forward to and then didn't get. So General Shao's in it, which I thought was going to be like, oh, cool. So this is going to be the part of the timeline where he's working for Onaga. That character that I guess we just ignore now because he's not real.
There's no such thing. There is no Onaga.
Actually,
no, it says Liu Kang didn't know who he was, so he just didn't get remade.
Well, okay, so check this out. This is there's an. I don't know if did you ever read the comic that takes place between like MKX and MK11?
No.
So that's where before the MK1 reboot, that's where Havoc comes in. He's the big bad of that entire comic arc.
Okay, I'm listening.
He's awesome. But in that arc, there's a chunk where like Goro gets his arms cut off. So he's still alive, but he's like ashamed because he doesn't have arms as a Shokan.
Wait, all four of them or just two?
Yeah, just all four of them. He just doesn't have arms.
Yeah, I mean that'd bum me out. That's for sure.
So, yeah, it'd be like if Motaro had two little wheelchairs.
Yeah, it would be like Motaro in Armageddon.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. So, but there's a thing where they're like, well, how does how would I ever get them back? And they lead him to go find the Dragon King who can like get him back. And I don't know. Do you remember Deception like at all?
Yes.
NK Deception. Okay. Do you remember how Reptile wasn't in it?
I mean yes, but I suppose I don't remember noting that specifically. But yeah, he was not in it.
He's not in it for a super specific reason, and that's that in order for Onaga to like be reborn into a physical form, he has to steal someone's body. He's actually in Reptile's body. That's why he's like super dragony, but he's like super like lizardy. He's not normally like historically. He's kind of got like a Captain Ginyu thing going on where he takes different forms.
Interesting.
So yeah, initially he wasn't like mega reptile-y. I mean, I don't really know what he looked like, but they super hint that he just didn't. He takes on a bunch of reptile traits. So I was looking forward to like a Shokan Goro Dragon King who tricks him, and it's him with like 4 arms that like shoots fireballs out of his mouth and stuff.
Oh, that would have been sick.
Yeah, and like an MK12, but now we just reboot it.
Yeah, we just reboot it.
Shucks.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was really minor, but it's just there was a little like flick in the nuts for something I was really looking forward to. It was teased at me because I did the homework. I found the Easter eggs and then I opened them and I just found like a dead chicken inside.
This is nothing. Yeah, it kind of
like not what I wanted.
It kind of punished you for being a fan in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's a valid criticism. Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I've never really been that tuned into the story in Mortal Kombat in general. If I'm being perfectly frank, like I'm not negative on it. I've just never like followed it that closely, I suppose.
You kind of have to dig for it.
Yeah, they don't like throw it at you too. Well, it's funny too because like a lot of the because like 3 were no, I don't know about 3, but like did I play 4? I think what was the first like 3D one? Was Deadly Alliance?
That's kind of tricky.
Or was it Deception?
MK4 is technically in 3D.
That's right. I didn't play MK4 really, for sure.
It doesn't play like it. It plays like a 2D fighter that has a little like complicated input to like shift up 1 step.
So I guess Deception, whichever the next I guess Deception.
Deadly Alliance is the first 3D one. That's the one that had like that's the one that had like the guard move where you could like throw your guard up to shift up super fast and you could just weave around somebody like you're doing donuts.
I definitely didn't know that when I was a kid, but that was when I started playing it. Or that's when those are the ones of the story that I played through. But I just like, I remember having fun with it. I remembered it being just like fun, Mortal Kombat, martial arts silliness. But none of it stuck to my brain really. I can't remember almost a thing from like what was actually going on. I guess except Armageddon, but that makes sense because one, it doesn't really have a complicated plot, but also it was the one that I physically owned, so I was able to play the pants off of it.
Yeah.
The rest of them I just
I
kind of
just looked up and noticed your guy is decapitated suddenly.
Yeah, I had his neck kind of floating in the wrong place. He's got this real pudgy barrel chest that I cannot tell if it's like correct or incorrect based on the posing. But his neck is going to be wrenched around at a really weird angle. So I need to like get this, because if I try to work on his head from that angle, I'm going to automatically start adjusting the body to like align with it properly, but I don't want it to. I want it to be actually kind of harsh. So I'm moving it out of the way for a minute so I can try to really get it's like the last part of this. I need to tone some of the lights down, and then this thing's fucking done. I'm very happy.
That's funny.
About
So that means you started MK in like the kind of goofy era.
Yeah, well, I'd played Mortal Kombat before that, but I was young enough that it wasn't really like because like Mortal Kombat 1 is one of the first games I ever played. I played it and Mortal Kombat 2 on the same day when I was like 3 or 4 years old, and I'd see it was like around me. Mortal Kombat Trilogy I played a decent amount. Like my neighbor had it and I played it with them like a ton. But like but like the way like an 8-year-old plays a fighting game, like I'm not really engaging with it on its own terms. We're just kind of pressing buttons at each other. Neither of us knows how to do special moves. Yeah, Deadly Alliance was like the first one I like played like someone who could competently play a video game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I've noticed like Mortal Kombat definitely has its eras. Like MK1 and 2 are this really interesting point where it hasn't gone off the rails and it takes itself kind of seriously, but it's not like you're not like snickering under your breath while it takes itself seriously. You're like, oh yeah, that is really badass.
Yeah.
Or like, it's really solidly cool.
It's Tonka Truck cool. It's serious. It's just like all the cool shit that boys like. And it's totally earnest in just wallowing in that. It's just having fun. Yeah, there's like a fire ninja and an ice ninja, and they hate each other. And one of them shoots magic, and there's a demon guy. Yeah, super cool.
To me, I think of it like in like Power Rangers stuff, where you're like, oh, this is where like the dudes are just doing normal martial arts, and if you like ignored the Power Ranger aspect, you could just appreciate how incredibly difficult this is.
Yeah, and just how cool the artistry is. Yeah.
There's just like the 3D era after that where it's like, this is the Megazord fight against a guy in a costume where everybody's wearing like big tissue box armor and a big rubber suit. You're like, this is the goofy part that's fun. This is just just silly.
Any chance at taking the story seriously died when Bo Raicho vomits on the floor in a tutorial.
Yeah.
That's it.
That was it's funny because he's in like MKX and they take him seriously. He's got entire cutscenes where he's just talking like super philosophical end of world shit with Raiden, and then he throws up and belly bounces a guy, and you're like, what are you doing, man?
What are you doing? You
what is your life?
Gross Snorlax booger man motherfucker.
Which is funny, because if you take away the vomiting shit, he's a really cool, like, drunken fist guy.
Yeah, there's an interesting concept in there. It's kind of neat, but I don't know.
But, yeah, he did come from that goofy, weird chunk of MK. Like, for MK, like, 3 through Armageddon are really goofy to me. Mm-hmm. They really don't go out of their way to take themselves too seriously and try to be dark, because that's the game where they have, like, one of the fatalities is Rain uppercutting someone into 4 pieces that come down like ham slices and land perfectly with his sprite just flipped 180 degrees. And I'm like, alright, you're just being goofy now, ain't you? You know, like, yeah.
You goofing? You goofing, Mortal Kombat? Yeah.
Yeah, we goofing.
We goof. I guess we goof. If you're gonna goof. Quote from Goofy.
I don't know, but like 2 had like the Kung Lao one where he just cuts them in half and it's dead. They don't have like, you know,
we weren't into like babalities and shit.
Yeah, he just cuts a dude in half like a fucking fish, and you're like, oh, and then it's dead quiet, and they just go like, they're like, Kung Lao killed a guy.
Kung Lao homicide.
Because I remember at MK1 and 2, I considered them like horror games as a kid. They struck me as like being like.
I mean, they're pretty close to horror. Like if you really needed to like genre them, yeah, horror fighting game. I think that's actually kind of appropriate.
Because it's a bunch of dudes. Because if you lose, the goal from everybody at that time was like, I'm gonna do a fatality and your character's gonna be dead. So in my mind, every fight ended with that. I'm like, oh, this is just blood sport.
my
But
God,
everybody
dude.
has their head explode.
What a cool game would that be if you were two people, the game was you were two people fighting, and the goal is to defeat the other person while committing as unsevere a crime as possible.
So hockey dad.
Yeah, you're right, Hockey Dad. I would love to play Hockey Dad.
There's a chance that might get made. Somebody did make the joke Waterworld game from the arcade, where Millhouse had to put in like $40 in
Yeah,
quarters
take
to
the
step
two
twice. That is a
steps.
game now.
Um,
That exists. You can go find that.
yeah, whoa. Hang on, there's another one of those that really, fuck. Hang on, let me think. There's another choose your own adventure like that. What the hell was it? It was from like a TV show or something, and somebody made the whole fucking game. Oh my god, what? Shit! Oh man, I don't remember what it was. I remember being very impressed by it. Damn. Oh, it's from Community. The cartoon, video game in the episode of Community where they have to
No
like.
fucking way.
Yep, you can play that actual game. It is real.
That's amazing. We
Yes.
need to play that.
Steve played through and beat it, and he said it was amazing.
As a multiplayer,
No clue. I haven't looked it up yet.
it really should be.
But yeah, what a cool. Thank you, weird internet dudes. You're the best.